Breaking the rules.
Are we ready? Amy, is this on? Need to talk into it? All right. Good evening. My name is Elaine Corbett, and on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce and the Board of Directors for the Chamber of Commerce, I would like to welcome all of you here tonight. On May 8th, you will have an opportunity to vote in the primary election. Nash County has 7 commissioner seats. District 4 has 4 candidates vying for that commissioner seat. 2 Republican candidates and 2 Democratic candidates. Tonight, the Nashville Chamber of Commerce is happy to present to you this political forum so you as a voter can see and hear where each of these 4 candidates stand on certain issues. We sincerely hope this forum will help you become better informed as the important decision of who will be our next county commissioner at District 4. Thank you for coming and being better informed citizens. At this time, I'd like to turn the program over to Mr. Cliff Joyner. Cliff? Thank you.
I'm going to be real brief so we get to the reason why you came tonight. I would like to ask everyone before we get started if you turn your cell phones off. We don't, the candidates have put forth a lot of time and effort to come tonight, and we don't want cell phones to interrupt tonight's program. Again, thank you for coming tonight. We've got good turnout, and I'm glad to see that. We have 4 very qualified candidates, and I'm going to introduce them, and as I introduce them, they'll come up and take their seats behind the podium. First, Lisa Stone Barnes is a Nash County native. She's a graduate of Southern Nash Senior High School, Peace College, and NC State University. She is self-employed in agribusiness and currently serves on the Nash County Planning Board and the Rocky Mount Farmers Market Board. She and her husband, Johnny, have 3 children. Lisa is a candidate on the Republican ticket. On the Democratic ticket, we have Bert Daniel. He's a Nash County native who graduated from Spring Hope High School, Brevard College, and NC State University. In addition to 6 years in the Army National Guard, Bert has served on the Nash Healthcare Systems Board of Commissioners and currently sits on the Nash County Health Board. For 32 years, Bert was in independent sales with Johnston's Incorporated. He and his wife Frankie have 2 daughters and 4 grandchildren. Jerry Harris is the other candidate seeking the Democratic nomination. Harris has lived in Nash County for 54 years and graduated in the first class from Northern Nash High School. A graduate of Atlanta Christian College, Jerry has worked as a teacher and coach in retail and retired after 25 years with Abbott Labs in the areas of accounting, inventory control, and logistics. He is currently a member of the Nash County ABC Board. He is married to Barbara, and they have 2 children, 4 grandchildren, and 2 step-grandchildren. The second candidate on the Republican ticket is the current District 4 Nash County Commissioner, Danny Tyson. Danny served 7 years in the U.S. Marine Corps, and he has been active in youth, high school, and adult athletics. He's currently serving in his 2nd term as County Commissioner, and he also serves on the Nash Community College Board of Trustees. He retired after 30 years with Abbott Labs Hospira, and he and his wife Jane have 2 sons and 1 grandson. Earlier tonight, each candidate drew a number to determine their starting order for the questioning tonight. Each will be rotated so that all candidates will be allowed to answer the question first. Each person will have 2 minutes to respond to the question, and at the end of the questions, each candidate will have 4 minutes for an additional response to any of the previous questions or to speak on any topic of their choosing. I and the chamber would ask you in the audience to please refrain from applauding until the end of the program. We want to try to keep everything moving on a smooth and kind of on schedule, so we can get you out here on time. Let's give them all a final round of applause, and then we'll start the questions. First question goes to Lisa Tyson.
Lawrence.
Ms. Y'all sure y'all want me to read these questions? All right. I guess that my paycheck goes for tonight. All right. What experience do you feel makes you qualified for this position?
Well, my husband will tell you I'm very qualified for this position, having graduated from North Carolina State University with a degree in political science. I've also worked as a real estate paralegal in and around Nash County for several years before working with the City of Rocky Mountain, the Planning and Development Department. I've also served on the Nash County Planning Board for the last 6 years, and I've been a Republican judge in the Coopers precincts for the last 6 years as well. I've raised 3 children. I've lived in Nash County all my life, and none of these qualifications mean anything if I'm not going to be a representative voice for my district. So I believe that my best qualification is being able to listen to the people of my district.
All right, next question goes to Danny. I'm not going to give you the last name, don't mess that up. Danny, what experience do you feel makes you qualified for this position?
Well, being the incumbent, I currently have 7 years of service in Nash County. As a commissioner, I have served on numerous boards along with the Nash Community College Board of Trustees. I currently serve on the Gateway Technology Board of Directors, where I serve as a treasurer. I serve on the Spalding Family Community Center over in Spring Hope. I have been a high school official for football going on 29 years. I have officiated high school and college baseball, along with numerous other things. I was Booster Club president over at Southern Nash for 4 years, PTA president of Coopers Elementary for 2 years, and have done a lot of things in and around the communities, serving on various things, and feel that I am very qualified for this position, having been the incumbent.
All right, Bert, the question goes to you. What experience do you feel makes you qualified for this position?
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. First of all, thank you very much to the Chamber of Commerce in Nashville for sponsoring this. It's a very, very nice event. I hate to say my age, but I went to NC State after Spring Oak High School and Brevard College and got a degree in agricultural economics. I chose to not have a career in agriculture and went into it as a sales professional and spent 32 years with Johnston's. In that, as an independent sales individual, I had an awful lot of experience across the gamut of the business world. I often say that I was everything from the custodian to the chairman of the board, most of my duties being the latter. But I, every year, got involved in all types of continuing education. I participated in sales training faculty with Johnston's. I was on the corporate vision group for years and years. I've also had experience with the hospital, Nash Healthcare Systems, served 9 years on their board and was voted by my peers to be chairman my 9th year. I presently serve on the health board, and community service has been ingrained in my family. And since I've been retired, I see even a larger need and more compelling by almost being faith-driven to give back to my community now that I have time to do. So I feel like that my past experiences across the gamut it gives me the opportunity to be a good decision maker and serve in my community.
Last, Jerry, what experience do you feel makes you qualified for this position?
Thank you. Currently, I'm a member of the Gateway Carolinas Partnership and also serve on the Nash County ABC Board. I'm a past president of the Nashville JCs, served 3 terms, and I also served a term as the PTA president at Red Oak Elementary School. Along with my work experience at Abbott, I feel like I have an ability to sit down and talk to people and be able to understand the things of interest to them and be able to relay those to the situation at hand. I feel like that all of the citizens of this county need to be represented, especially District 4, but also the other 6 districts. So what I feel like my strength could be the ability to talk with all of those people within the county and make an educated decision.
Thank y'all, and we'll move on to the second question, and Dan, you'll be answering first. What do you think is the greatest challenge Nash County faces in its future? And if you ever want me to repeat it, just ask me. What do you think is the greatest challenge Nash County faces in its future?
Well, the greatest challenge, I guess you would say, right now would be jobs. When you turn around and look at all the businesses that are closing up and people who are looking jobs and the unemployment rate at the current rate that it is, jobs in the future is going to be what's going to push Nash County. But you also got to include education in that part too, because if you don't have a good education system, you can't train your people. And that's where Nash Community College comes in and plays such an important role in the county in the training of the people who are displaced or currently working. So you've got to sort of look at jobs and education go hand in hand, and how we're going to marry the 2 of them together to move Nash County forward into the next best generation.
Bert, the question goes to you. What do you think is the greatest challenge Nash County faces in its future?
Very good question. I see challenges as an opportunity. And I think that nationally, the recession has created a mindset that it just wants to almost put everybody into a depression. But I see that as an opportunity. And just bullet point answers to your question. I think Nash County has an image problem. An image, and you might put / identity problem. We really don't know who we are. And we're playing against the gullibility of the citizens of Nash County to think that poverty-level jobs is the answer and the rescue vehicle and bring us out of the situation we're in. And I'd like to challenge that. Jobs are very, very important. But I think we need to look at jobs and education together. Because if we tie them together, an uneducated workforce will not attract jobs. An uneducated workforce attracts poverty-level type jobs. So we need to get in sync here. And we need to think going forward as our capital improvements. We've got a lot of needs that are here now. But our image problem and our communications problem and our ability to deal with our neighbor is our #1 challenge.
Jerry, question to you. What do you think is the greatest challenge Nash County faces in its future?
Probably #1, as has been mentioned twice, is industrial development. We have a citizenship that is extremely diverse. I will go back to give you an example of when I worked with Abbott. We had people in that plant that were housekeepers. We had people there that were supervisors. We had managers. We had chemists. We had doctors. And we had a plant manager. Each of those individuals did not want to be the plant manager. Each of those individuals had a dream or an ambition that they had set. Unfortunately, what we have to deal with in this county is a large portion of those 2,200 people, their idea of coming to work was make my 8 and and hit the gate. All they wanted was 8 hours a day and to get paid a fair wage. And I feel like the vast majority of our citizens are in that same category. They want to have a job, they want to have an opportunity. And given that opportunity, they will perform it very well. As part of that, education is vital so that we can create the other jobs that are out there as well and attract all types of industries, not just one. We need to educate every citizen and give them those opportunities.
Lastly, Lisa, what do you think is the greatest challenge Nash County faces in its future?
I think the greatest challenges that Nash County faces right now is the drug problem and our crime rate. I think if we start with the little foxes that spoil the vines, we will solve a whole lot of the big problems that plague our county. We can look back to the Sam's Club when we had many applications for those jobs there, but many of those applicants were not able to pass the drug test, and the ones who were not able to pass the drug test were not able to pass the background check. So I think we really need to focus on the drug problem and our crime problem in Nash County.
Thank y'all. All right, third question, to start with Bert, is what is your viewpoint on the proposed poultry processing plant in Nash County?
I guess I'm a good one to start that. So people kind of know how I feel about that. I would say, first of all, we'll clear that up real quickly and say no to Sanderson. Say no to Sanderson. And I just answered the other question a while ago. Poverty level jobs are not good for Nash County. We can do better. A dream is a vision and a goal that can become reality. And we're talking about education and standards and with the bar of lowering or the bar of raising. We need jobs for all of our people. We need opportunities because if you don't have a job, basically it's not a recession, it's a depression. But if we set our goals and our standards low and accept an industry in here that's going to challenge our environment, the pristine resources that we have, it's going to challenge the air, the water, it's going to challenge our social services. It's going to challenge our school system. It's going to create burdens. And we have documented, and our group has appeared before the county commissioners time and time again. And our story, which is documented, has not been heard. And this is a shame, because we have documented that other counties, Sampson, Duplin, Pender, these counties that have existed and do exist now presently on the poultry and swine industry or have a higher level of poverty, and their school systems are suffering and their population is changing. Now we can do better here in Nash County. We have got an airport underutilized. We've got 3 major 4-lane corridors coming through. We have got lots of assets. We need to evaluate these assets and strive, and we deserve better. No to Sanderson Farms. We can set our goals higher.
Jerry, the question comes to you next. What is your viewpoint on the proposed poultry processing plant in Nash County?
I'm sure he and I can sit here at the table together and disagree. I think the Sanderson Farms is a necessity for this county. It will provide 1,180 jobs. There will be a $100 million investment. But Sanderson is only the tip of the iceberg. That plant will have to be built. It will create construction jobs. It will put electricians to work. It will put plumbers to work, landscapers. It will put money into the coffers to help pay our educational system and keep things moving in the right direction. In addition to the wage that those people will be getting, they will have fringe benefits, one of which is hospitalization, which means our healthcare industry will be positively impacted as well because there won't be as many people looking for Medicaid and Medicare. In the Sanderson system, the company pays 75% of the hospitalization for each of those employees and their families. The employee only pays 25%. In today's world, that is almost unheard of. Sanderson has a reputation also of being the best in their industry. And I feel like that with the jobs and the investment that they're going to provide this county, we have to take advantage of that and utilize their capabilities.
All right, this question comes to you. What is your viewpoint on the proposed poultry processing plant in Nash County?
Well, as a member of the Nash County Planning Board, I voted against the rezoning request that would allow a chicken processing plant to be located on the banks of our reservoir. I think it's a bad idea. This type of industry will bring negative consequences to our county, including our quality of life, our water, our environment. The real estate values will be affected negatively, and any future industry that would want to locate here would not look favorably upon a chicken house being here, as well as the resulting 568 chicken houses that would have to be built in and around this county to supply this industry. I think we can do better. I think our workforce deserves better, higher quality and higher paying jobs. If existing businesses here were offered some of the incentives that the Sanderson Farm company is going to be offered, then they could probably afford to expand and create more jobs here in our county. I think there was a lack of transparency and openness when this was brought before the planning board and the public at large. The benefits do not outweigh the cost. And the most important reason that I'm against it is because the majority of the people in my district that I've talked to do not support this. And I have to think about the people that I represent. And that's why it's such a controversy. I don't think the people have been informed and they haven't been able to participate and their input really heard regarding this decision.
Okay, Dan, last, what is your viewpoint on the proposed poultry processing plant in Nash County?
Well, as everyone knows, I supported the resolution supporting Sanderson Farms coming to Nash County. We're talking about 1,180 jobs. They're good jobs. Sanderson Farms is a 21st century organization. It uses the latest of technology. It has a lot of computer stuff in it. It has a lot of mechanical stuff in it. It takes mechanics. It takes smart people to work these jobs. Will there be some laborers in it? Sure. As there was at laboratories where I worked and people worked production lines, there were laborers there. The average salary, when you average the salary out there, it's going to run about $28,000 a year, and that is not bad money for our county. As far as looking at the transparency of it, I think everybody should remember when there was talk about the Volkswagen plant building in Nash County. Sometimes when you talk about an industry or a job or something in that nature before the industry has an opportunity to make a decision or say something, they won't come. Big business likes to make their announcements. And if we make them, or somebody else makes them, or the media makes them, or the paper makes them, or the TV makes them, or whatever, sometimes that might drive a good industry away from your area. So they have a timetable that they set on, and if you're an elected official, regardless of whether it be with the city or with the county or with the state, those people like to let you know when they want to make their announcements. So as far as transparency goes, you have to work with the industry on that, but it is a good company and it will be good for Nash County.
Okay, our fourth question is, and Jerry, you'll start it off, is if elected, what new ideas would you propose for Nash County?
First and foremost, I think we would have to look at our education system. We have to find ways to improve our test scores. We have to find ways to reduce our dropout rate. We have to better educate our people so that we can progress and move forward. In addition to that, I would be in favor of continuing to pursue industrial development. We need to research, investigate, beg, plead, whatever word you want to use, other industries that are out there and see what is possible for us. The state of South Carolina has chosen to put their arms around the manufacturing industry. They don't really care what part, just manufacturing as a whole. They currently have a BMW plant that is in, I think, Spartanburg. And their chamber, the state chamber, goes through and they will tell you that for every BMW job they have filled in that facility, there are 30 other positions in that county that support that one job. From vendors making parts, from electricians, contractors, whatever. Those are the types of things that I think we need to pursue. Broad-based industry that will be available to all of our citizens.
All right, this question comes to you. If elected, what new ideas would you propose for Nash County?
Well, being 45 years old, I can offer a whole lot of new ideas for Nash County. I think we need to look to the west for our future growth. We need to tap into the Research Triangle area to bring jobs and quality industry to our county. We need a new direction for our economic future. I believe I can help out with that. And I believe I'm running for Nash County Commissioner because I think we need a new voice and we need fresh leadership, some fresh ideas, improving our education, improving our workforce and training for our workforce so that we will have skilled labor for industry that will come here. We need to look at our strengths and capitalize on our strengths and not play to our weaknesses. We need to look in a regional area for jobs and opportunity. The world is shrinking, it's getting smaller with our internet access. I think we need to build our infrastructure as far as the internet access for our county, continue to build our infrastructure in countywide water and sewer and natural gas.
Dan, I guess if reelected, what new ideas would you propose for Nash County?
Well, Nash County, like I say, is currently working on a lot of things infrastructure-wise. We've started with countywide water and sewer, basically with water, and that's mainly going out in the southern end of the county to cause us some arsenic problems and other things. So you've got to have an infrastructure there. Nash County has looked at all its interchanges to see what we could do up and down 95 to attract the industry to those things. We're working with the Gateway Partnership as far as trying to attract jobs, and they send out information all over the country. We're living in a global society. We live in a global economy. So we have to look not only locally, but we have to look outside this country too as far as attracting businesses. Now, what do you do to attract businesses? You've got to keep your tax base low to attract businesses. You've got to be able to have your infrastructure in place, your water, your sewer, and be able to get it to those people. You've got to have a good quality workforce, and a good quality workforce starts with a good education. People may not know it, but Nash Rocky Mountain School System does do an excellent job in teaching their kids. They have implemented some new things over the years that has started moving those areas into people being able to be placed in jobs. They also partner with Nash Community College, so you have an early college that is helping you out, where the kids can from 9 through 12 go to the early college and have one more year, and they come up with an associate degree, and they have the 2+2+2. They can go high school, the college, and move right on to West Bend College. You have the Upper Coastal Plains Learning Council, which is going around looking at a lot of different schools and school systems to see what they do right and what they do wrong and what we can do to improve. So, yes, we are headed in the right direction.
Okay, and Bert, last, if elected, what new ideas would you propose for Nash County?
I'd like to put this under the category of how can we make good better. Nash County is a wonderful place to live. I chose to come back and raise my family. We just have so many wonderful assets right here within the county. So let's just step it up a little bit and say, how can we make good better? I think we need to, on the county level, develop a mentality, and I want to categorize it as customer service. The customer service mentality within the county government. I hear a lot of complaints about the inspectors. They aren't friendly. and I don't know whether these are legitimate or not, because I'm not in the front lines, but develop a mentality of customer service, because we all need each other. We are one big family, more or less, when it comes to county government. We have got the infrastructure. We have got a brand new high school, we'll start next year, 2 great schools in the county. So school-wise, we've got the infrastructure. I would like to suggest some motivating type programs within Johnson. I spent a career about 15 to 18 years involved in a program called Renaissance. Renaissance was a program, to be very briefly, I can speak an hour on it. It's where we took the D student and tried to get him to a C-. If we could get him to a C-, we'd motivate him. We could probably get him into a C+ and maybe a B type status. Motivation, recognition, reward. These are the types of attitude we need in leadership. We need fresh leadership. We need new ideas. We need to think out of the box a little bit, but we need to take inventory of what we've got, because what we've got is good. We just need to make it better.
We'll start back on Lisa again first. In terms of economic growth, what is your vision/solution for Nash County?
Well, like I said earlier, I think we need to look to the west for our growth for Nash County. That's going to be where the opportunities are. We had 2 major arteries, 264 and 64, that will connect us to the west. And as Raleigh is growing this way, Research Triangle Park, I think we have to look in that direction. I don't think we're going to have any opportunities looking to the east of us or to Lenoir County. In that area, I think the growth is definitely going to be to our west. We need to tap into some good industry that's just waiting to locate here. This location where Sanderson Farms wants to locate is a great location for any industry to come here. It's right on I-95, and we could get some kind of a distribution center or other manufacturing facility to come and locate there with less of environmental impacts to our environment and to our county. I think there's a lot of opportunities waiting for Nash County. We're not as rural as some of our counties. We have a strong economic base, and we need to attract more industry to come here that will provide high-paying jobs for us and for the future generations.
Dan, the question comes to you in terms of economic growth. What is your vision/solution for Nash County?
Well, I think your vision is you have to be prepared for the future of economic growth. You have got to have your infrastructure out there that's going to be able to attract the businesses that you need to have come here. You've got to have a good educational system, which we have here in Nash County with the Nash Rocky Mountain School System and the community college. You've got to have done your homework on looking at your interchanges on 95 to identify what interchanges on 95 are right for development along with the 64 in your 264 corridor. We have established an industrial park on southern Nash County off of 231 and 264. You have to have the availability of areas for businesses to locate that will attract them here. You have to work with the Gateway Partnership. You have to work with businesses that exist to see what they're interested in supporting them. Right now, with the economy the way it is, attracting businesses is extremely tough. And to be able to just say, I'm going to go out here and bring this business in or this business in, you'll get a lot of them that will probably tell you wait after the 2012 elections and we'll make a decision on what we're going to do, because it's just that tough out there right now. So if you don't have the infrastructure and you don't have places prepared for businesses to come to, if you're not working hard with your school system and your community college, those things have got to be in place in order to businesses to come in here and be attracted to your area. So those are things you've got to look at and work with.
Bert, in terms of economic growth, what is your vision/solution for Nash County?
A very good question, and I think there lies the future of Nash County and economic growth. And I think it lies in the 2 words I'm going to put, attitude/mentality. and borrowed on cliche, and I'm very fond of cliches, I've collected a few over the years. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can, you can. And that's going back to something you said earlier. Where do you establish the bar? Do you yield to the lower level fruit, or do you strive for higher? If you think you can, you can. So we work with that attitude and our mentality. Mr. Tyson addressed a very, very important issue earlier. The world is flat. And I read a book by Thomas Friedman. Very, very interesting. He didn't necessarily have solutions. He just explained that we live in a new and different time. That book is about 6 years old, so a lot in technology has changed. Yes, our neighbor is not next door. Our neighbor could be India. So we have to change our attitude and our mentality. I think we also need to review how we recruit industry. I'm not kicking Gateway. To gentleman right, or gentleman to my left, to your right, is a member. And I applaud him for making that contribution as a citizen of the county. But maybe we need to review their activities. Maybe it has outgrown its time. I don't know. I'm just asking questions out loud. So I think we need to take an inventory. We need to adjust our attitude or have an attitude adjustment. And we need to think in terms of technology, how it's changed our world, and also getting back to our youth and our education, our schools. If we don't set expectations, if we don't set boundaries, they won't know what type of world to exist in. And how can they achieve if nobody expects anything of them? So it's not a one-word solution to this. It's a combination of all.
All right, Jerry, in terms of economic growth, what is your vision/solution for Nash County?
In my opinion, one of the first things we do is we have to broaden our tax base. We don't need to continue to increase taxes on the individual. We need to figure out ways to bring money into that tax base from new entities. By doing that, we will be able to provide much more service, and our area will be more attractive to the industries that we do try to recruit. In addition to that, we've got to stay behind the community college. It is a vital part of the education system of this area. Again, when I was at Abbott in the mid-'80s and early '90s, when the computers all became the rage and there was one on everybody's desk, people had to be trained how to use those things. Most of us were lucky if we could turn it on. By the time that we got through, and in conjunction with the community college, they had set up programs that we could go in and have 2- and 3-day seminars and learn how to operate those equipments. We need to continue to pursue new industry. Regardless of what the industry is, Carolina Gateway does a great job. They have a staff that they're sending out questionnaires every day. They're contacting people all over the country and all over the world looking for interest in this area. You would be amazed. The last meeting I attended, there was a 6-page list of industries that could be brought into this county, all of which had expressed some interest. Not, as Mr. Tyson said, all of them aren't ready to make a move tomorrow, but they are interested. So we need to continue to pursue that so that we can do what is best for our citizens.
That concludes the prepared questions we have. Now, each candidate will have 4 minutes to address any of the previous questions that were asked, or they can just speak on anything they choose. And we will start with Lisa on this.
I'm much better at showing you what I'm trying to say than sometimes saying what I'm trying to say. But the last question about vision, I just want to address that because I think everything that we've talked about tonight goes back to one word, and that is vision. I want to create a vision for victory for Nash County because Before we even can create a vision, we have to know why we need a vision. Nash County is at a fork in the road right now. If we go down this path and build a chicken processing plant on the banks of our reservoir, it will negatively impact our environment, our quality of life, any future industry that will want to locate here, and our property values, as well as the 568 chicken houses that will have to be built to supply this plant. If we go down this road, not only will it be a dead end for the chickens that come here, it will be a dead end for Nash County. And you know, when you hit a dead end, what happens? You have to turn around and go backwards. And that's exactly what this will be. It will be a step backwards for Nash County. It might be efficient for today, but it will not be effective for tomorrow. Efficient is doing things right. Effective is doing the right thing. I want to do the right thing for Nash County. And like I said before, we need to look to the west for better growth opportunities for Nash County. Raleigh was just named the second fastest growing city in the nation. And we're right here an hour away from Raleigh. I believe Nash County is right in line to benefit from that growth. Just like Johnston County has benefited and Franklin County has benefited. I think the next 20 years for Nash County is going to be crucial. We can welcome residential and retail development here with sustainable agriculture and higher educational opportunities. But we have to begin now to attract quality industries that will have high-paying jobs for our area. We need to have jobs that will enhance the quality of life for Nash County and will ensure a prosperous future for all of our citizens. So, this vision, which path will you take? Which path will you choose? Will you go down this path of futility or the path of the future? Which vision will you choose? Will you settle for second best and maintaining the status quo? Or will you look for the future, to opportunities and see the potential that Nash County has to attract industries and other jobs? Do you prefer an industry that will play to our strengths or will prey upon our weaknesses? Will you lower your standards and say that this is the best we can do for Nash County? Or will you say that we can do better? I believe Nash County can do better. Proverbs 29:18 says, "The people perish for a lack of vision." I'm asking you to partner with me and help me create a vision for Nash County, a vision for victory. Please vote for me.
Jerry.
As we all know, over the last 2+ years, the #1 subject in this entire county has been Sanderson Farms. We all talk about education. We all talk about infrastructure. We talk about taxes. We talk about everything. But just as the demonstration just showed, everything comes back to Sanderson Farms. First of all, 568 chicken houses. The likelihood of that happening within Nash County is so slim. Sanderson Farms has set back rules that they require their growers to adhere to keep those houses away from residential structures and from families. So all 568 of those chicken houses cannot happen within Nash County. Over the next 10 years, if Sanderson comes here, there will be a $5.4 billion investment over the 3-county region in the next 10 years. In addition, what I was talking about earlier, the pyramid that is under Sanderson Farms, the retail businesses, the school systems, other kinds of labor, all can be positively impacted by a $5.4 billion investment. Secondly, that money is going to go to improve our school system. We're going to be able to better train the people in those schools. They are going to be able to get better technology. They're going to be able to help us attract other industry to this area. This is just step one. This isn't the end of the road. This is the beginning. Last week, I was riding with my mother-in-law, who's 96. Her comment to me was, the only problem that Nash County had right now is nobody wanted to look after each other. All we care about is ourselves. We don't look to see what other people need and want and desire. All we want to do is make sure we're covered. In my opinion, we keep talking about an image of this county. A lady that's been here 96 years and she says that's what's wrong with this county. That says volumes to me. And I think everybody in this room, if you'll sit down and think about what she said, will understand and agree with her wholeheartedly. When we look around, everything that most of us do in our daily lives revolve around us and our family, not our neighbors. We need to be able to provide for those neighbors. We need to provide education. We need to provide jobs. We need to provide a tax base that puts the money in the coffers so that all of those things can be accomplished. My vision for Nash County is no different than a lot of people's in this room. We need to move forward, and we need to do it now. And we need to address all those shortcomings as quickly as possible. I urge each of you, if you look around this room, I urge each of you to go out and encourage people to go to the polls and vote. What we have right now is a situation where you have got two totally opposite positions. If you sit at home and say, they'll go, then your voice is never going to be heard. Please, do everything you can to put a line in front of those polling places starting tomorrow morning. Thank you.
First of all, in 4 minutes, I'd like to challenge my opponent, Mr. Harris, to the statistics concerning Sanderson Farms, but it would take more than 4 minutes. That information came directly out of Gateway's propaganda, and I can challenge and debate every bit of it. But first of all, let's stick to my notes and take the high road. First, I'd like to thank the Chamber of Commerce for sponsoring this event, and it's just been a great community service. It's been most interesting, and I've enjoyed it. Just being here at the podium and in the audience is a God-given privilege that we here in America, and more specifically right here in Nash County, can enjoy. And that privilege is freedom. And freedom is a combination of values and commitment to reason and personal accountability and respect for the law, and especially the concept of self-government. With that said, we must act responsibly and with consideration for our neighbors and our others. It is my belief that an elected official must be directly responsive to the constituency that elected him to that office, with the principle that the majority forms the consensus. And to suppress others for personal agendas is an act of irresponsibility and has no place in our system of government. We have discussed briefly many topics tonight, any one which could have spent an hour on alone. The news media from the get-go pegged District 4 right here with us four guys, and the number one issue is Sanderson Farms, and that somehow keeps being brought up. And it is a tremendous issue, and probably the biggest that's been down the pipe in the last few years. It might be the biggest coming down going forward. But we have other issues. We have lots of issues: education, capital improvements. I contend that the voice of the citizens in District 4 has not been heard nor considered. You know my stance on Sanderson, we discussed that. And as I said, there are many other issues. But I'm passionate about motivating, not intimidation. We motivate the people involved in our destiny. Hopefully, after listening to us during this forum, you have a better understanding of our fundamental views, but yet, and more important, a better understanding of how we form these beliefs. And personally, I use the values of logic, data, and principle. As a candidate, I recognize a tremendous responsibility of making decisions that affect my fellow man. I will always listen, evaluate, analyze all the data pertinent to any decision, and I will listen to the citizens. After all, this election is not about me. It's about Nash County. It's about our future. We are at a crossroads. Our county is divided. We're at odds with our neighbor. We must heal and prosper. In exercising your vote, your voice will be heard May 8th. I do feel confident that I am the best qualified candidate. And I ask for your support and your vote on May 8th. Again, thank you to the Nashville Chamber of Commerce for this opportunity. And I thank the audience for you coming out tonight and showing your interest in your local government. Remember, vote Burt Daniel, District 4.
James?
Well, I too would like to thank the Chamber for the opportunity to be here tonight, for all the hard work and preparation for putting this together, for all the people who took time out of your busy schedules to come and listen to us. I thank you. Nash County is a large, diverse county of over 95,000 people. And as your county commissioner for District 4, I can tell you, I take to the chamber up there one vote. And that one vote has to have 4 votes to have a majority to carry anything forward. I work hard to be able to work with my fellow commissioners to do the right things for Nash County, to make sure we're moving Nash County forward in a positive direction. I take everything very seriously that I vote on. I look at everything very seriously. If it's something I think I need an extra 30 days, I make a motion for another 30 days so that we'll have more time to look at the issue. We have been looking at Sanderson Farms for well over a year. I took my time to make my decision and to make my stance. I have made a decision to support it. It is the right decision to make. And I'll say 2 things about my opposition on Sanderson Farms. The Barnes family was for Sanderson Farms when they were looking at buying 700 acres of their property.
Boo! That's a lie.
Also, the Barnes family is probably one of the largest spreaders of chicken litter in Nash County on the potato crop. So there are a couple of things that need to be brought out and said that have sort of been kept quiet and put under the bushel basket, and they're said and they're over. But I have worked extremely hard for Nash County. I have worked extremely hard to be a positive influence for Nash County. I serve on several boards. I work hard on those boards. Nash County has worked hard to position itself to be in a position to grow economically. We have looked at our water situation. We have identified extra water in case there is a drought. We had a 500-year drought, and there is a water plan in place in case there is a drought. Everybody follows that water plan that is under that draws water out of Rocky Mountain. If there is a drought, everybody follows that plan. So there are things in place to move Nash County forward. Like I say, I enjoy being your commissioner. I enjoy working for Nash County. We are moving in a good direction. We do work with the school system and the community college to do the things that are right. And I would appreciate your support May 8th. Thank you.
Okay, that winds up our questioning. I just want to say a thank you to the candidates for your time tonight and for your responses. And it's amazing how well y'all can keep inside the time limit and whatever. And also thank you to the audience for your attendance and your patience and holding your applause. We're always winding up here now. Just a couple of housekeeping things. Down here is Keeping Time tonight. We had John McDaniel and Jill Boone and Amy Beasley who are back here working with sound. We thank Elaine Corbett, Elaine Robertson, and Joanne Cooper that served with me on the committee to put this together tonight. And if you would give these folks a round of applause. I can't get last names right, and I also left out Renee Davis, excuse me. As you noticed, we have the camera here tonight. The HIG-TV has been taping the proceedings tonight, and it will be available for viewing Friday, which is this Friday, the 27th at 8 p.m., and that is on channel 17 and channel 19, I think on your cable, and also on internet at whigtv.com, watching at any point in time. That concludes the program for the night. You're welcome to stay around and visit and questions or whatever, but thank you all for your attendance.